You're awake! Ha! I was worried you'd never wake up. You slept all the way from Khenarthi's Roost, right through the hurricane. You don't remember? A Khajiit named Razumdar fished you out of the ocean. He paid me a small fortune to bring you here. We barely made it out of Khenarthi's Roost before the hurricane hit. He was headed to Eagle Strand, an old fort on Khenarthi's Roost. My ship won't return there for some time, but a bosun on the far dock can take you. Look for Sugar Claws.
Trade feeds vocal guard, like rain feeds a tree. There's almost as many crates here as there are raindrops in a store.
I lost it somewhere, along with my dignity.
I don't stink of fish. I'm surrounded by a delicious bouquet.
What is it? Is this about the fish? I took what I paid for. Never mind. What do you want? Good. I have business on Khenarthi's Roost. Passage is free. The inspectors won't be looking for two of us. Whenever you're ready.
We don't like strangers. I never want to see another ship. I'll stay on this island for the rest of my life if I have to. They can't force me to go back, can they?
We need your face to become familiar, so your presence won't be questioned. Come, stay by my side. This one so you fall from thin air. Pop, drop, splash. Raz would have tried for a backflip, but under the circumstances, this one is most impressed.
Razumdar is here on a mission of some delicacy. This one did not know how your presence here would change it, but honestly, Raz is glad you returned. You may be just what he needs.
First, a question. Where did you come from? A Daedric prince, you say? Raz has a nose for lies, but you seem clean as an ocean breeze. If anyone else asks you, where will you say you came from? My, you're a focused one, aren't you? It is good to be focused, but it is also good right now to fit in. Your sudden arrival, it does not fit in, you understand? You should not. You should trust your instincts. Leave if you wish. No one will stop you. Or, come with Raz and do what you can to help us recover. In the process, grow your stature and wealth. It is entirely up to you. Because you are no soldier, which is useful. You can speak with the locals, assure them we are not invaders or marauders. Now come. Let us try to fit in. Commander Caranet, a moment? This recruit survived the shipwreck without injuries. You mentioned something about the shattered shoals, yes?
glad you're up and about, recruit. I'm in need of a scout to head to Shattered Shoals. Most of our fleet foundered to the west, but we've had few survivors trickle in from that direction. We captured a sea viper spying on the camp. Those pirates never travel alone. Find out if they're around Shattered Shoals, and if so, what they're doing on this island. Of course, you should assist any shipwreck survivors you find. We must each do our part. Before you head to Shattered Shoals, speak with Eelsil. He just returned from exploring a nearby temple. That wizard claims to know something about everything, so he may have insight on how these sea vipers operate.
Eelsil is this way. Eelsil, this recruit wishes to speak with you.
Marvelous, isn't it? We'll have to construct a special room for the Morning Stone when we bring it back to the Mages Guild. I'm sorry, did you need something? Yes. The Temple of the Morning Springs is an old Khajiit ruin not far from here. We excavated the Morning Stone from one of the chambers. As you can see, its supply of water appears endless. What do you mean, pirates? In an ancient Khajiit temple? Preposterous! All we saw were the undead warriors that overran our camp. I have no idea. Actually, I have 12 ideas, but they're far less fascinating than the Morning Stone. Probably some sort of ancient curse. It usually is with these things. Arrogant sea elf pirates. To my recollection, they aren't known to raid Khenarthi's Roost. Oh, and they have a thing for snakes. But I'm sure we both have more important matters to attend. If you'd excuse me?
We should speak privately. Before you depart, let's meet by the statues north of camp.
I'd rather be cracking heads.
There, you see? You fit in and no one will stop you from walking away. But as this one said, there are opportunities here for people that fall from the sky. Eelsil is most impressed with his newest bauble. But the undead are a threat to all of Khenarthi's Roost. If you want to, you could search the Temple of the Morning Springs, determine how to contain the dead there. Then the locals should see we came here as allies, not conquerors. Khenarthi told you how the hurricane dashed the fleet into Khenarthi's Roost. Now the sea vipers are picking at the bones of our ships. Strange, yes? You could scout the coast, as the commander said. Prove yourself to the soldiers. Oh, there's far less glamorous work to be done in Mistral, at the northern end of the island. Let's meet up there, after you've done what you decide to do. Until then, bright moons guide your steps.
Strange winds blow lately. The air's full of salt and sorrow.
I'm not used to seeing so much open space. This is my first sea voyage. It's that sea elf. Marmor, they call them. I think he's doing it just to annoy us. If they just gag him, he couldn't cast his spells. But they need to question him, I suppose. I just hope he doesn't ruin my maps. Me? I guess I am now. In Valenwood, I was a cartographer. You know, a map maker. When they recruited me for this mission, I thought all I'd be doing is surveying land. Turns out, there's a lot more responsibilities. Oh well. It's that sea elf.
Hello. I think you must have the wrong person. I only speak to two kinds of people, and you seem to be neither of them.
What's your step, Groundwalker?
Another distraction.
Too much to do and so little time.
Things are never easy.
Distasteful.
Halt! Come no closer! Heed my words. You endanger more than your life should you approach. A fool who paid the ultimate price for ambition. But I would see none fall as I did. You must leave. The book before you is cursed, as are its two siblings. Can't you hear it call to you? Then perhaps you're strong enough to resist their call. If you find them and bring them to the shrine, you might finish what I could not. Please, I beseech you. The books are a darkness that must be erased from the world. The curse upon each tome is designed to feed souls to oblivion. But if you are able to resist their pull, you can collect the tomes and bring them to the shrine for their destruction. On the shores of Khenarthi's Roost, beyond the town of Mistral, it is lit by an ever-burning flame. Should you collect all the tomes, bring them to the shrine without delay. No matter how strong you believe you are, I fear the tomes are stronger.
Harder than expected. Let's see if it was worth it. Now you die. Not now, not ever.
Can any of you hear me? You there? Have you seen my squad? We were all on a little Alkosh, part of the Dominion fleet sailing for Khenarthi's Roost. Then a hurricane blew up out of nowhere. Sails tore, hulls cracked, and we were thrown into the ocean. I ended up here. I can't find the rest of my squad. I thought I heard one of them calling out, but the ocean twists up sounds. If they're wounded or pinned down, could you keep an eye out for my soldiers? They answer to Edalus, Onglon, and Nistel. 2 of us can cover more ground. I'm sure my squad made it to shore alive. Dominion Marines constantly defy the sea's attempts to drown us. The hurricanes, they're another matter. I fear my squad is banged up worse than I am. Our ship's hold was packed full of an old Bosmer healing remedy. The labels say torchbug treacle, but Marines call it glow juice. The wreck scattered bottles across the beach must be what brought out the aelids. Squat creatures made of teeth, claws, and endless hunger. I've heard their cries up and down the beach since I came to. Their sweet tooth is bigger than their walnut brains. I saw one of the stupid things swallow a whole bottle of glow juice. Good luck. Do me a favor. If you find them before I do, tell them the ocean hasn't killed me yet.
Who are you? Were you part of the fleet? Alive? Good. That's good. Waves smashed me against the ship. Cracked a few ribs. Not the best feeling. Glow juice? You find some? Tastes like sandals boiled in mint perfume. But if it knits my ribs, I'll drink the whole bottle. Good. I'll find Sergeant Firion. Go. Get them back safe.
I lost a lot of friends in that storm. Give me some good news. I saw her swept overboard in that damn storm. Held on to the rigging long as I could, but it tore the skin off my palms. If I can't hold a weapon, I'm useless to my squad. Do you have any bandages? I lost my kit to the sea. Glow juice? Used to think this stuff was only good for practical jokes on snowy days. Once I can heft Spleen Shanker, I'll push through the beach and find Sergeant Firion. How about you? Hope they appreciate their good fortune when you find them. I can get inland after I rest. Fight with purpose.
Bless Ifra. I'm glad you came by. Have you seen any other Marines along the beach? She's alive. I suppose that's some luck amidst all this wreckage. Can't say the same for my leg. If I don't put too much weight on it, I can manage a good hobble. Glow juice? By the gods, it just might. Soon as I can stand on my own, I'll head inland. Lieutenant Gellin dragged me out of the water. He'll want to know Sergeant Firion and the rest of the squad are all right. I think he said something about looking for shelter in a nearby cave, but I was still coughing up sand.
Good find, cohort.
Turns out my squad were the ones who found me. Ever consider a career as a Dominion Marine? You'd make quite a scout. My squad said you were looking for Lieutenant Gellin. Have you found him? What do you mean? First, a hurricane blows out of nowhere and destroys our fleet. Then, an able-bodied Dominion Marine is captured and tortured to death? What else was in that cave? Some kind of sacrifice? This is too big for my squad to handle. We need reinforcements. Nistel spotted a beached ship nearby. It looks intact, and she spotted Dominion sailors aboard. We need to combine our forces and find who murdered Lieutenant Gellin. My squad and I need to pull his body out of that damn cave. Would you warn the sailors on that beached ship? They need to know it's not safe to wander around. Wait, take this. I found some glow juice while I was looking for my squad, but they're on the mend. You'll get used to the taste. You'll be along shortly. Watch yourself.
Lieutenant Gellin pulled me out of the water. Owed him my life. Not too late to pay him back.
May Ifra look after Lieutenant Gellin. The gods know nothing will protect his killer once the sergeant learns their names. You go warn that ship. We'll prepare our friend for what awaits us all.
Before the next sun sets, my blade will find a home in the heart of Lieutenant Gellin's killer. May the fates guide me to avenge him.
Quality materials make for quality goods.
You want a slick-arsed sea viper or a cabbage-mouthed castaway? State your business with the crew of the Prowler. The hurricane killed hundreds of Marines. Why does it matter if one of them died in the cave? Oh. Well, the Prowler is like a hen in a wolf den until she's seaworthy again. Maybe your Marines can prove they're more than two-legged cargo and shiny armor. If they pitch in, I'll consider reinforcements. They up for it? Or are they all talk? And I'm sure they'll be as useful as they were in the hurricane. Should they care to prove otherwise, they're welcome to do actual work patching leaks in the Prowler's hold. Maybe they can locate a replacement helmsman's wheel in all this wreckage. Oh, and our Sunsighter. It must have fallen overboard when we beached. Our lookout saw those skink-fingered pirates make off with it. You'll have to get the Sunsighter back, any way you can. Sure, talking's easier than working. Well, ask. Barnacles on the arse. They're all sea elves. Malmer, they call themselves. Nothing more than pirates, if you ask me. Some say they have a connection to the water itself, but it's a lie. Anyone can learn weather magic like they do. Captain Jimala uses it to navigate. I could tell you how the sun and stars show the ship's exact position, but none of it matters while it's in the Sea Viper's hands. The pride of the long coast. We'll sail for the Dominion as long as they pay us to raid enemy shipping. Joan and Jode, don't let the captain hear you say that. Pirates steal and pillage for themselves. We're privateers, so we do it for whoever pays us. A crucial distinction. Captain Jimala took over the Prowler a few years ago. She's smart, cunning, and deadly dangerous when provoked. She's also luckier than anyone I served. Every ship in the fleet smashed to flinders on Khenarthi's Roost. Every ship but the Prowler.
These aren't Dominion sailors. They're privateers. Just our luck. We'll show that old sea cat what Dominion Marines can do. Edalus is the best scrounger in the regiment. If you want, I can send him out to look for a helmsman's wheel. Suit yourself. Anything else we can do? Nustella's is good with a mallet as she is with her sword. I can have her patch the Prowler's leaks. She'll have those leaks fixed in no time. What else? Onglorn is our best tracker. He can recover the Sunsighter in no time. I almost pity the Sea Viper who's holding on to the Sunsighter. Onglorn will recover it soon enough. What else needs doing? Edalus is the best. He's on his way. Anything else we can do? Then it's time for that mangy privateer to make good on his promise. Maybe you should do the talking. I'll just rub it in.
That was fast. All right. There's room on the Prowler for your Marine friends, as long as they work for their meals. I said I'd consider it. Captain Jimala is the only one who can make that call. Something you'll want to hear. You just made the Prowler seaworthy, and Captain Jimala always pays her debts. Go talk to her. She only bites if you give her good reason.
Due to your efforts, the Prowler is free to sail once the tide comes in. Those Marines did their part as well. I have no reinforcements, but I offer something better. I know who's killing the Dominion soldiers, and I know how to stop it. Our lookout watched the Sea Vipers drag a Dominion Marine into a cave. Later, he saw your friends remove the Marine's body. If we weren't so short-handed, I'd have ordered his rescue. But 3 of my own crew were missing. Before we understood the danger, I sent my crew to scavenge among the shoals so we might repair the Prowler. We thought they disappeared, but one just returned, and she tells a harrowing tale. The Sea Vipers happened. Now there's a new storm brewing, and I fear they're the cause of it. Mustangui recovers below. Hear what she has to say for yourself.
The Sea Vipers are insane! They're trying to create another hurricane! Sir Verkvild and I were scavenging for a replacement helmsman's wheel when the Sea Vipers ambushed us. They brought us to the island with the beached Dominion flagship. They'd done things there. Terrible things. Those filthy Maormer dragged my mates up and tied them to these serpent-shaped statues. Then they started chanting, and lightning surrounded them. That's when the storm began to form around the island. Yes, I'm sure of it. It was a terrible sight. The Sea Vipers were so caught up in the ritual, I slipped free. I tried to grab Sir, but the lightning held him fast. Then one of the Sea Vipers yanked at him. I saw the Maormer's wrist glow. The Maormer wore lodestones on their wrists. It let them ignore those lightning bonds, but I couldn't find any more, so I jumped off the ship and swam for it. Please, don't let them sacrifice my crewmates.
Land. Have we reached land? But the room still spins. Why did I board this accursed ship? The Prowler needed a cook, so I volunteered. First time to travel by sea. Thought all the water would be like the marshes back home. But now even the smell of food. Oh, gods.
Sea vipers are insane!
They won't kill me today!
Good find, cohort.
Sur and Werkwild returned just after the skies cleared up. They're a bit damp, but otherwise all right. My lookout says I have you to thank. Then we'll finish repairs and shove off at high tide. Oh, your marine friends fended off sea vipers while you rescued my crew. They're welcome aboard, as long as they want. Perhaps we'll see you at Mistral. You'll always have a place on the Prowler.
With a little luck, we'll have this cleared away before the tide comes in.
Thanks to you, we'll be able to float the Prowler off this beach the next high tide.
I'm glad we could help get the Prowler seaworthy. If the Sea Vipers are causing any more trouble, the Dominion needs all the ships it can get.
Ew. Be sure to wash your hands. Ah, time for tea then.
I hear your pain, Old One. I'm doing what I can. Windcatcher Plantation depends on the Great Tree, yet it sickens before my eyes. Our fates are like leaves in its branches. Do you see that strange miasma? It appeared on the Great Tree after the hurricane, like a sickness. I've done what I can, but I fear it's not enough. There's a cave directly beneath us. I called a spirit there to heal the Great Tree's roots, but it hasn't returned. Would you see what holds the spirit back? And aid it if you can. I can feel the spirit's frustration. It wants to help the Great Tree, but something prevents it. The spirit is old and powerful. It seeks to move from root to root, aiding the Great Tree as it's able. But it's a healing spirit of singular purpose. It doesn't know how to defend itself. I'm uncertain. If so, the spirit must be protected from harm while it heals the Great Tree's roots. It knows what it must do. The Great Tree shields Windcatcher Plantation from the winter winds and keeps our settlement shaded from the heat of the summer. Its story entwines with ours. When the wind goddess Khenarthi first traveled across the heavens, legends say she grew tired and rested in the branches of a small sapling before resuming her journey. That sapling became the Great Tree, and gave Windcatcher Plantation its name.
Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
Been a Kwama master for over a decade. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm up to my neck in droppings, and I sure could use a hand getting out. Ever try piloting a ship through a hurricane while your entire cargo of Kwama eggs hatch and go bug nuts? Been there. Can't recommend it. After we wrecked, they made a Kwama line toward this cave. I came after them, but they're a bit distracted. They always get surly after hatching, but these Kwama are downright unsociable. I tried to stop them from chewing on those huge roots. They objected. Bumped into a fine-looking tree trunk on my way out. Thought I was done for, but it kept walking. Oh, Kwama didn't take to it, whatever it was. I heard them munching on it, same as those roots. The little one seems scared of it. If you can help the pretty tree trunk do what it needs to do, I bet they'll head back this way. If they'd stop eating those giant roots, they might get better. But I don't blame you if you have to put down a few to save the rest. Just be careful. Nothing fiercer than a crazed Kwama. Not even my sister-in-law.
Another chance at perfection. sure to wash your hands.
Praise Ifrey. The miasma has cleared. Yet I sense this begins a new chapter for the great tree. Though the creatures gorge themselves upon its roots, this was a passing instinct. They can be taught to strengthen the great tree. The Kwama will soon learn the cave is their nest and treat the spirit as their queen. Together, they'll guard the cave against intruders who seek to harm the great tree. A new story can frighten any creature, until it realizes its role within. A great wind blew, and many ships were dashed against Khenarthi's island. But you strengthened the great tree despite her anger. Windcatcher Plantation thrives once more. May your actions show Khenarthi our goal is righteous. May she bless us with favorable winds.
I don't know how I feel about these strange bugs. But if Spinner Beneath doesn't mind, who am I to disagree?
Interesting place. I'll take some notes and try not to gulp.
Joining the Dominion isn't about what is taken from you, but what we gain from each other.
What is it?
Don't believe her lies.
Too much to do and too little time.
have little time to waste.
Sure, we are busy. If you would watch, do so from a distance. You stand at the Temple of Two Moons Dance. Here, we learn and practice Riddlethar. The way, the path, the road. Riddlethar is all of these, and none. For one, the road is a wall. For another, a wall of the way. We all seek our place in Jackaje. Riddlethar helps us find it. In the way, one follows a map through a maze. One follows Riddlethar through life. It teaches us to avoid and embrace danger, to fight and to run away, to accept change and to stave it off. A maze contains many things, not simply a way out. The best mazes hide many sweets behind traps and crevices. Riddlethar is not so much a way out of the maze, as the way with the most sweets along the way. Jackaje, it is what we all hope to achieve. The lunar lattice, where all fates are bound, our place in the universe. For the Khajiit, anyway. One should hope not. If we are lucky, we reach Jackaje long before then. Otherwise, what is the point, yes? It is different for everyone. For some, it is to become king and rule over the little people, yes? We should all be so lucky. For others, it is death. You have some experience with this, no? Only that you have had your sugar stolen. A curious thing that Inisashujo does not envy you. Still, keep your head about you, and you will find a way. Strike from the sides.
Doesn't seem like I'm getting much done here. All this wasted effort. Blasted creatures get into everything. First the hurricane, then rats from the sea. What next, flying mud crabs? Surrender's mercy, we need more time before the inspection. Dominion inspectors. Headwoman Harani requested their aid to stop smugglers. We're honest farmers with good customers. Our moon sugar is used to spice food, not to brew skooma. When the inspectors learn we can't protect our fields, we're finished. Hairy, squirmy, squeaky little rats. They've infested the plantation since the storm. The inspectors will ask, if we can't protect our fields from those dung-dropping sugar eaters, how can we protect them from skooma brewing thieves? Find out why Cindertail's Singe tigers roll on their backs instead of filling their bellies with rat. Does one expect to keep his job if the inspectors find vermin in our fields? At best, the inspectors will recommend our moon sugar be confiscated. To the east, the plantation burns. Was it due to the inspector's recommendations? Who can say? Either way, Mistral will weep for our passing. With laughing moons gone, skooma will flow through the streets. When moon sugar runs dry, people turn to smugglers. With smugglers comes skooma. But the inspectors aren't from here. If we tell them, they will not listen. Find out why Cindertail's Sench tigers roll on their backs instead of filling their bellies with rat. Does one expect...
Look at you, Alfei, lazing about like a sun-drunk serpent. You think you were once our greatest hunter. Want to buy a carpet? How about 3? They aren't good for much else. Yes, Alfei, even you. Do not eat the rats, this one says. Do they listen? No! Stupid Sench. Lazy Sench. They already did. That's the problem. Moon sugar makes you sleepy if you eat too much. Rats eat moon sugar, Sench eat rats, and then lazy Sench. Especially you, Gobani. Not with sugar bellies. These useless Sench could only kill a rat if they fell upon it. From a great height. Go inside, lock the doors, wait until they leave? No. Let this one think. Without Sench hunters, what could... Thunderbugs? No, it would never work. Thunderbugs nest nearby. They defend their delicious eggs from anyone who'd make a meal of them, yes? If you grabbed an armload of eggs... Undoubtedly. But they'd hesitate to harm the eggs once you possess them. Smash an egg into each rat nest, and the Thunderbug's electric frenzy kills the rats before the inspectors arrive. You're sturdy, yes? A little shock won't stop you. Wonderful! Save some eggs for Cindertail, yes? They are so very tasty.
We can use this.
There's no question, Durandara. Your specialists certainly showed the vermin their place.
Of course, Inspector. We could expect nothing less of our specialists.
Halderil, make a note. Unorthodox methods, but vermin-free. Sir.
Clever luring thunderbugs out of their mounds like that. A scheme worthy of Bandar himself. They're all gone then? Excellent. Our gracious inspector has been most patient with us. Perhaps witnessing your ingenuity will affect his findings. Joan and Joe dance kindly with you, Walker. Whatever the findings of our esteemed inspector, we are in your debt. You're truly one of the Walkers. We would do well to learn from your efforts. Will you be staying with us long, Inspector?
Knowledge is power.
At last, this book had best be worth the price. What? What is that? Wait! I only wanted to make something beautiful.